Looks good so far. And there she is. Okay, Suzanne, say hello to your
No, you have to
Facebook.
introduce me.
Okay.
Okay. Be Al Hamill.
From sunny California, it's the Suzanne Summers Show, and here she is.
Hi, everybody. So for you on Instagram who are watching this, I apologize for the delay, but
Technical difficulties.
Yeah, and it happens in every medium.
I was born.
Also, we were just on the air with Australia because my books are very well known in Australia, and I often do their morning Today Show, and their Today Show coincides with our nighttime tequila cocktail Facebook party. So that thing with the intruder has gone all over the world, and they want to know about the intruder. And the host, Sarah, said, "You're sitting right where the intruder was." I know. I said, the fact that the intruder was essentially naked really saved him, because I could see that there was no weapon.
Well, that's for sure.
That's for sure.
Yeah.
That's for sure.
There's
Anyway,
a line there. Yeah, sorry. Go ahead.
We're here tonight, and here's the deal.
Yeah.
We have two flavors. We have clove spice or lemon verbena in the hand wash or the hand lotion. And whatever you buy, one set of this or two sets of this, you get a free hand sanitizer. And I just said to Caroline that I want the warehouse to send me 50 bottles of this hand sanitizer, because when you go to someone's house for dinner or meet with them, people today would much rather have a great hand sanitizer that has moisturizing in it so that it doesn't dry out your skin than a bottle of wine. So that's what I'm doing.
Okay.
Well, I'm going to have the warehouse send you a nice little case of hand sanitizers. But what's nice is that Suzanne is sending you guys home with a free hand sanitizer as your hostess gift today. So you just buy one set, either the lemon verbena hand wash and hand lotion or the clove spice hand wash and hand lotion, and you get the free gift from Suzanne.
Yeah, it's good.
You know, you were hired in 1968, I guess it was.
For what?
To be the prize model on a game show that I was doing called the Anniversary Game,
That's where
right?
I met him. He was the host.
Now, if you had presented the refrigerator, which was the prize, the way you did just now with the hand sanitizer,
But you know what?
They wouldn't have fired you the same day.
Do you know how often I get fired?
Well, I know firings that you've had that no one else knows about.
I got fired from the day I met him. I was hired as the Vanna White, but if here's the camera, I was looking over there, and then the camera would switch over there, and then I'd look over here. I was so confused because no one said, "Look at the camera with the red light." I don't know. I'd never been on, and I was.
It was Chrissy, the prize model.
It was Chrissy the prize model, and I was all nervous because I was meeting Alan Hamill, who I didn't even really know who he was, but he made my heart go pitter patter. And when Bruce was a little baby, and I would sit at the end of my bed and feed him his afternoon bottle, I would watch this show called Wedding Party, and the host was this jerk.
That's not what you told me.
No, on that I didn't.
What you did, you described me as the guy on that show from New York, and you were in San Francisco. You described me in a word that starts with an A and ends with an E, and who has two syllables.
Okay, I was being nice.
Okay.
He had this demeanor that I just didn't like, and I'd be feeding Bruce thinking, ew. And then months later, I walk in, I'm hired maybe as a prize model, and if you do well, it could turn into a regular gig. So you can imagine how nervous I was. And then I met Alan Hamill, and I walked in, and all these people around him. I always say Alan has kind of that thing that Johnny Carson had, and
you're embarrassing me.
Well, no, it's
Pinky Lee, maybe.
No, it's a thing that men love you and women love you.
Half of them are saying Pinky Lee. Yeah.
What?
No, I was just talking about Pinky Lee.
Oh, Pinky
What's
Lee,
that song he used to sing?
Ho, he. My name is
Pinky
Pinky
Lee.
Lee.
So for those of you who are over 92.
Oh my God.
Pinky Lee.
Yeah, you're not 92.
Soupy Sales.
You're 102.
Soupy Sales, okay?
Yeah.
He was amazing because when I was a classical music disc jockey, I'll bet you haven't heard that too often. Huh? I was a classical music disc jockey for 5 years in the Windsor, Detroit area.
Yeah.
And what was I going to tell you?
That you were watching Pinky Lee when he came to the
Okay,
camera.
Soupy
He said, "Hey,
Sales.
kids."
Soupy Sales
Soupy Sales.
has a show on Channel 7 in Detroit, WXYZ. He has a noon show, and he has a...
Okay, but this isn't the interesting part.
No, here's the interesting part.
Okay.
The nighttime show was like 11:30 at night,
Yeah.
okay? Noon, 11:30.
Yeah.
The noon show was for kids. Kids used to come home for lunch from school, right?
Remember?
And the nighttime show was for adults. Well, the noon show was definitely for kids. It was great and great for kids. The nighttime show was exactly the same script, but was filthy the way he played it. It was amazing. Anyway, these two guys were Pinky Lee and Soupy Sales.
Alan had a show, a kid's show in Canada. Sorry, I'm eating celery. Where it was like Howdy Doody. For those of you who are my age, there was a Howdy Doody. It's Howdy Doody time. It's Howdy Doody time. When Buffalo Bob would come out to host Howdy Doody time, all the kids would go, yeah! Alan Hamill had, what was it? What was the name of that show that you
Razzle
had?
Dazzle.
Razzle Dazzle.
Yeah, we had a peanut gallery filled with little kids.
And when Alan Hamill would come out, here's Al Hamill, all the kids would go, yeah! And Alan would turn around and go, shut up! And that's how he started his show. And the kids thought that was so funny, and actually it is funny.
Now those kids are like in their 70s, right? I meet them. They're in their 70s.
Right.
And one woman told me she still had my secret decoder. We had a secret decoder.
Do you have any kinescopes, because they didn't even have video back then, of Razzle Dazzle? I'd love to see you on Razzle. I've never seen
You
it.
could probably Google it. There's probably something online.
Someone out here will do it. If
Yeah.
you all were watching The Intruder and you called the police, you can Google Alan on Razzle Dazzle. But I'd love to see it.
You know, there were 3 stars. The first star was a giant puppet called Howard the Turtle. And Howard the Turtle sat on this wooden box, and inside the box was the puppeteer. And he'd stick his arm through Howard's neck and make Howard talk.
Oh,
Okay?
this way, yeah.
The second star was a 12-year-old young lady by the name of Michelle Finney.
Sweet little girl.
Pardon me?
Sweet little girl.
Yeah. And I was the number 3 on the show.
You weren't the star?
No. Well, I was one of the 3 stars. There were
How
3
can you
stars.
be the host of the Peanut Gallery and not be the star of the show?
I don't know.
Oh, you were. It's like Three's Company. They didn't want to.
Yeah, I don't know. I was the breakout character,
yeah.
right? Anyway, where was I?
What's the podcast I did today? Cal what?
Cal
Cal Huffington?
Nussman, I think.
Or I did a podcast today with a guy who gets an audience of 50 million, 50 million, and wow, did the two of us hit it off?
Cal Fussman.
What is it?
Fussman.
Fussman. Yeah, as soon as you know when that's going to air, Caroline will post it. It was kind of a remarkable interview. He's an incredible interrogator. He asks questions and he's truly interested. So often when you do people's shows, they're asking questions, but you know, they're not even thinking about it. They're looking around, they're looking at stuff and just wishing you'd fill time. This guy was truly interested. I really, really enjoyed doing his show. I was supposed to do
It was a
15
good
minutes.
show.
I did well over that. So
Yeah, it was
anyway,
a very good show.
when you see it, Caroline, post that.
By the way, somebody just posted, I can't believe how quick
What?
this happened. Somebody just posted a picture of Howard the Turtle, Michelle Finney, and me on Razzle Dazzle in the
Wow.
early 60s.
Wow.
Yeah, a few people posted
Wow.
clips.
Wow. Wow. You have your fans, Al. Oh, wow.
Awesome.
So great. Yeah. The world.
So Christina Gonzalez said, love your products. I got my hair products yesterday, and wow, my hair looked so good today.
Isn't that great?
Well, that's what the show was like today with Hal. And he said, I want to know about health. He said, I'm realizing is a huge issue, especially in this pandemic. And he said, how did you learn to know what you know about health? And oh my gosh, I was so enjoying turning him on about it, that when you use something like hand lotion that doesn't have chemicals in it, that I'm going to be boring for those of you who haven't heard it, but when you look at your hand in a microscope and you see your pores, in a microscope it looks like big holes. So imagine if I put this lemon verbena lotion on my hands and all those holes are there, pores.
Sure, in your hand you see holes, in my hand you see Mars.
I see beauty.
Okay.
And the chemicals got to go somewhere, right? So they drop into the bloodstream, and then they go on this rampage looking for their favorite things, fatty organs and glands. The fattiest of all being the brain, which is 65% fat. And what I find so fascinating is that when chemicals get up to the brain through chemical skincare, hair care, makeup, all the stuff that we talk about all the time, it gets into the brain, and the brain itself has to shrink to make room for the chemicals. So the hypothalamus and the pituitary shrink. The more chemicals come in, the more the brain shrinks. The more chemicals that come in, the more the brain shrinks, until you experience brain issues like dementia, Alzheimer's. But the young people who's have been exposed in the womb, they're having issues, ADD, ADHD, OCD, dyslexia, dyspraxia, on and on. And is this where all the brain issues are originating? From using chemical products on your skin, by eating products that are sprayed with poison, i.e. genetically engineered, or sprayed with pesticides and things, or if you're cleaning your house with chemical products. That's how it gets into your body. So what the purpose of these shows that I do are twofold. And that's what I was telling this guy today. One is, let's have a good time. It's non-political. We'll have a tequila with me. We have so much fun. Alan and I, we're the real deal. We love our relationship, and we hope that you love watching it. It's real.
Yeah, but sometimes after the show we beat the crap out of each other. She's Irish. She knows how to give
You're
one
right.
and take one.
Right. Now you made me lose my train of thought, because that was such a stupid thing that
I
you just
know,
said.
you're right. I apologize.
Okay. I don't know where I was going with
It's
that.
unimportant. Why don't
You
you...
were talking about all the things that you put into your body, either
Yeah.
on your skin or
Right.
what you eat, the chemicals, the pesticides, what it
Right.
all ends up.
Right.
That's how
So
all
if you
those
think-
puzzle
you think
pieces
this
can
is-
lead to something that you really don't want.
If you think what you're looking at yourself, hand wash, hand lotion, hand sanitizer, don't minimize what this is, because if you think about that pathway I just told you about, you want to take good care of your brain. That was one of the questions the interviewer said to me today. What part of your body are you most fearful of losing? And I said, my brain. Nobody wants to lose their brain. And any of us who have loved ones who've succumbed to brain disease, Alzheimer's, dementia, etc., they're no longer there. They may be there physically, but they're no longer there. It's one of the saddest things that's happened. So when I tell you about these products, yeah, it's my business. Yes, the byline of our business is doing well while doing good. I think we do well because we put out a fine product, but we're doing good. And I want you to understand what I mean by doing good. I'm trying for myself to begin with, and for my family, to protect our brain, to protect our organs and glands, and to live a life that has quality. That's the whole thing. You can live a long time, but if you don't have quality of life, and we all know someone who doesn't have quality of life, what's the point? So that's the whole issue with these products.
Yeah, and I think, what's also important to note is that none of us can do this perfectly.
No.
There is no way
No.
to live a completely non-toxic life. We all have
You're
those
right.
places where, I eat this, or, I color my hair, or I have one cream. We all have those one
Right.
thing that we can't do perfectly. But Suzanne
Right.
so that you can try to clean up a lot of the areas of your life. And they're as good or better than the conventional products out there.
I believe it.
Yeah.
I believe it, and I believe it's so valid and important. I really do.
Do you remember when Dr. Russell Blaylock told us that within 20 years, and that was maybe 5, 6, 7 years ago, within 20 years, people over the age of 40 will need 24/7 care because of their brains, because of all the toxins.
He calls it excitotoxicity.
Okay, now everyone should know Dr. Russell Blaylock is a brain surgeon,
Neuroscientist.
a neuroscientist. Well, now he's a neuroscientist and a neuronutritionist, because he said he was opening people's brains and he was finding disease in there that they didn't study in
Cancer.
school.
Yeah.
And he's also a professor, I can't remember which university he is. So this is someone who really knows his
Louisiana.
stuff,
Yeah.
who's actually seen
Right.
the
He's a good man. I've interviewed him in at least 3 of my books. He's one of my go-to doctors. He knew it long ago. And he said, when I went to, he calls it oncology school, he said, we were never taught about the cancers I started seeing in my practice. He said, and that's why I gave up being an oncologist.
No, he gave up being a surgeon.
Right, but he went into neuroscience to find out what is happening to
Right,
people's brains
right,
and why from
right. What's the cause?
excitotoxicity.
Yeah.
So anyway,
Yeah.
he's one of the special human beings on the planet.
Yeah.
I respect him so much.
Yep.
Hey, while you're on the topic of incredible experts that you've introduced so many of us to,
Yeah.
wanted to remind you guys that Suzanne is going to be a special guest in Dr. Terry Hertog's upcoming free seminar.
Oh, yes.
And Suzanne posted it on Facebook and Instagram. I believe it's March 2nd, but you can sign up to register now. Suzanne will be in the last 30 minutes of a Q&A with Dr. Hertog.
Dr. Terry Hertog is one of the most incredible doctors in the world.
True.
And he's known all over Europe, and he's from a long line, his family, of endocrinologists. And do you know in Europe?
I think he's known all over the world because he lectures everywhere.
No, he is, but in Europe, this is where it all began.
He's from Brussels.
And he, because of Dr. Hertog, getting natural thyroid medication is available. Do you know it wasn't available in Europe? That you had to take a drug version of it, which didn't do the job. And he's changed so much in medicine. We will keep posting when I'm going to be doing this seminar, and he and I are going to talk about supplementation and the importance of it, so that you can, I never ask you to believe me or trust me. I'm not a doctor. I have used my louder voice to get to the best and the brightest, and he is of the best and the brightest. We are so lucky to have access to a doctor like him, and I love that he respects me so much that he wants to give me a half hour of his global seminar to talk to him about supplementation. You will learn so much. You will learn so much.
I think it's a 90-minute seminar, so he will do the first hour, and then he was going to bring in Suzanne to do the last 30 minutes.
Isn't that amazing?
With him. But it's a free seminar. And,
So amazing.
Wow, he's unbelievable.
Yeah.
He was lecturing, I guess about a year and a half ago, in L.A. And he called, and we got together, and we had dinner, he and his wife. And he said, can I come over tomorrow and give both of you a physical? I thought, wow,
Yeah.
Terry Hertog wants to give us a physical? Are you kidding? So he came over, and I was the first
Did he
one.
make you cough?
Yes.
Well, you're getting close. You're close.
He did.
So
He
now
did.
he's
Alan was so surprised.
he is an endocrinologist. Okay.
Yeah.
Now I haven't been to a lot of I've been to 2, maybe 3 endocrinologists. None of them touch me. Okay, they look at lab work.
But
really.
he's a doctor's doctor.
But none of them ever touch me.
Yeah.
So Terry Hertog arrived. We were living in Malibu then, and he comes in, and Dr. Gallitzer, our go-to, our energy doctor, was there, and the two of us. And Terry took out some rubber gloves and put one on. I said, hold it. Are you kidding? He said, bend over.
Well, what a privilege.
Yeah,
really,
absolutely.
to have one of the best doctors in the world want to examine you.
Yeah, absolutely.
And
absolutely.
we both learned a lot that day.
Yeah, he's got a really
by
good heart.
Yeah.
As well.
And so does Dr. Gallitzer. These are all doctors that I've interviewed in my books, and gosh, I admire all of them so much. You know why I admire them? They gave up the money. You don't make any money when you're an alternative doctor.
Yeah,
that's not where the big bucks are.
True. Yeah.
And people complain because they go to these doctors and it seems more expensive than the usual doctor because so often insurance won't cover it, which is crazy. Insurance will cover doctors who will just, take care of you the traditional way. These doctors probe and they test in ways that we're not used to being tested, and it's a new kind of medicine. And eventually, it will become mainstream, but it takes a long time to turn the ocean liner around.
Yeah.
When we started, the ocean liner was like this. We're now at about here. We're getting there.
Our friends the Samuelis.
Yeah.
And he is financing a major alternative and integrative teaching hospital. It was in Whittier. It's one of the.
It's not Whittier, but it's down that.
One of the UC campuses, I believe.
Right.
That's going to be incredible. That's got to be the first one, as far as I know.
Yeah, a lot of very wealthy people are leaving their money to alternative therapies.
Well, there was a stat. The stat I saw said, and this was 2 years ago, that the money people spend on alternative and integrative health, sometimes insurance doesn't pay for it, is pretty much the same as most people who practice allopathic medicine, meaning standard of care medicine, spend for copays.
By the way, I am not anti-allopathic medicine. I am not anti-pharmaceutical medicine. When you need drugs, you need them, they're a godsend.
Hey, thank you. When I dislocated my hip and they gave me
God bless
whatever it was, and what was that stuff called? Sounds like...
Dilaudid.
Dilaudid. They gave me Dilaudid, and it was like the angels were singing and birds were flying around in the room.
And what did you say?
Well, an hour and a half later, I was back to me, and I hollered to the nurse, "Get more of that Bin Laden in here."
I am happy to say and sad to say my darling sister Maureen, had a stroke this week, a mild stroke. And I hope she's getting out of the hospital tomorrow. But she was saying, I'm going to have to take drugs. And I said, you know what, Maureen? Feel lucky that you're 81 years old and you have not had the need to take any drugs all these years.
Right.
So accept it. Drugs are a godsend. When you need them, you need them. And so I'm not anti-pharmaceutical. I just like to do it naturally if I can. And that's the way I've lived my life. And when I had my, broken neck and spine this year, I could not have done it without the pharmaceutical drugs. So I'm not like professing any drugs or anything. I'm just saying you can't be all or nothing. You gotta be able to
absolutely
move and shake.
Well, I think they do. That's why they call them integrative. MDs.
I'm integrated.
Because they get into Eastern medicine, Western medicine, every other...
But up until this year, I never took a single pharmaceutical drug ever. But when I got out of surgery, can you imagine the kind of pain I was in not to be able to take drugs to take that pain away? And so you have to when you have to. So I think my sister Maureen, I love her so much. I think she accepted that today. I said, be grateful that you have this, which will extend your life, and along the way, eat right, think right, love right, sleep right. You've got a great family. All these things are very important, and the thoughts that we have are very important, because one of the things I was saying in this podcast today is, in this pandemic, I think the most drastic thing that's happened to all of us is human beings have been designed to connect. We hug, we kiss on the lips, we stroke, we care, we do. And we're not able to do that right now. Now, I wake up in the morning with Alan, and I know you two also, Caroline. Alan looks at me and tells me he loves me, and he kisses me on the lips and holds me and hugs me. I think of the people in my life who are alone, who don't have that, and we need it as human beings. We need to connect. We need to touch. We need to caress. We need to kiss. We need to kiss on the lips. I pray, not only every day, but all through the day, that this is over soon so we can get back to being humans being.
Yeah, bravo. Well said. I totally agree with you.
Yeah, I know. I can feel you out there agreeing with me. You see hearts going up. We all know this. Yeah. People are lonely right now. That's not a good thing. Loneliness is not a good thing. One of the things I love about these 3 shows we do a week is this is my form and your form of hugging, caressing, touching one another. This is a very connected kind of thing that we're doing. That's why I will.
It's true. We're all finding new ways to connect.
Yeah.
You know, for survival.
For survival, right.
Yeah. I have a couple people who are asking some questions about your product, so I'm going to
Please do.
Interject
Okay.
if you don't
Please
mind.
do.
You guys, the deal today, Suzanne's amazing hand sanitizer, which is a moisturizing hand sanitizer with this amazing scent of clove spice. It's a $20 value. It's a free gift when you get one of her hand wash and hand lotion sets today. A lot of you are asking about pumps for these products. These products have a flip cap on them because, I don't know if you know this, but there has been a global shortage of pumps during the COVID crisis. So it's one of the products. This is industry-wide. It's not just us.
No, it's
been very
component
difficult
issues.
to get pumps. Ours arrive in March. So until then, you have a pump top on these. So
Yeah.
a flip top.
A
So
flip
I
top, you
apologize
push
that
this
we
little
don't
thing
have-
down, and then you just like that. And
There it is.
yeah, it's gosh, we don't realize the effect it has on everything. That we can't get pumps, we can't get components. For a while, we're not out of product. We have product. We didn't have the components, the bottles to put them in, but now we've got the bottles. We don't have the pumps.
By the way, you know, Suzanne, we mentioned, Caroline, that Suzanne did a guest spot live on Channel 10 in Australia.
Just now.
Yeah, just before the show today. And what we forgot to talk about was all the organic material that goes into our Gut Renew 30-day challenge comes from Australia.
I know. Yeah.
Really?
I forgot about that.
Yeah.
How are you all doing on your 30-day Gut Renew challenge? Is that what we're calling it? I can never remember.
Yeah, a Gut Renew 30-day challenge.
Gut Renew 30-day challenge.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wow. I could feel when I talked about this on the podcast I did today, I could feel the people going, "What is it? I could fix my gut?" Everybody's complaining about their GI tracts, and our Gut Renew, man, is that a success. And we just did it because we heard from so many of you that you're not feeling well because your GI tract, and you're not digesting well, and you're constipated, and you're bloated.
Well, you know, you know that
is a language.
when you walk into a big drugstore, one of the big chains, they have aisles of stuff that you take because your gut is in bad shape.
Yeah.
You know?
The guy on the podcast said to me, "Well, what's in it?" And I said, "Better to ask me what's not in it. It's so loaded."
It's loaded.
I said, think of Gut Renew as spackle. So when the free radicals and chemicals get into your GI tract, they start eating through the barrier wall, which is as long as a tennis court, and creating these holes, i.e. leaks, and that's leaky gut. And so what our Gut Renew does, for lack of a better description, I call it spackle. It seals up the barrier wall, so it stops the leaking into the bloodstream so that the bad guys can't get into your precious organs and glands and ultimately the brain. It's an incredible thing. Incredible.
So while you
we
were...
have another huge order on the way. We're getting low on stock now. So
Are you kidding?
Yeah, so
Low again?
Orders coming in within the next couple of weeks.
Oh my God. And I think this guy's whose show I did today has an audience of 50 million with an M.
I guess it's possible today with the internet.
Yeah, yeah.
You know, there are 6 billion people out
He's
there.
one of the most successful podcasts there is.
Wow.
Wow, did I like him. So great to do a show when you get off and you think, what a good guy he is. He's true blue and honest, and he's a friend of Larry King, and he said, I've had a breakfast at Nate and Al's in Beverly Hills with Larry King for as many years as I can remember. I went, wow.
Yeah.
I said, I'll always miss Larry King. He was so good to me. Out of my 27 books, 14 of them became New York Times bestsellers. And I have to give a lot of that credit to Larry King because he would give me a full hour of global time.
Well, it was Larry and Wendy Walker, the producer.
And Wendy Walker. Wendy, if you were watching,
yeah.
Wendy was always booking me.
One of the great producers ever.
Yeah, she's so great, so great. When Mary and Al come for dinner, we should invite Wendy and Randy. That'd be fun.
Yeah.
That'd be a fun night. Yeah. So, talk to me.
How was your weekend?
Last one or the one coming up? What did we do last weekend?
Last one. Today's Monday.
Oh.
Yeah, yesterday.
We stayed home.
No, yesterday? Didn't we go out yesterday? No. Sunday?
Oh, we went out for dinner.
We went out for dinner with these two
friends.
really wonderful people,
Yeah.
Dean and Lori.
And we stayed home Saturday night. Yeah.
That's right. No, we went out Saturday.
Oh, we went out.
Yeah.
Oh, we went out.
We have to stop all this going on.
I don't
okay?
want to go out so much. I think I do.
We used to have a
people.
rule. We would go out twice a week.
I know, but
and we always had
these are strange times.
I know.
And
we want to start going out again.
My desire to connect with people and be with people.
It's unique to be able to sit in a restaurant now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
you're
the
right.
restaurant we went to last night is outside, but it was such a beautiful. It was an evening like this, so that you felt like you were inside, but you're outside. And here in the desert, that's the beauty of the desert.
Yeah.
Is that starting probably now, we're going to have the kind of weather that you don't even want to be inside. And you just go out to restaurants where they serve good food outside and enjoy yourself. And for those of you in the East, I'm so sorry you're still cooped up. And I hope all these restrictions can lighten up real soon. I really do. We still can't go inside in California, but we can go outside. But here in the desert, that's okay. But it's not okay for the restaurants.
Didn't someone say that California is the only state is still insisting we don't eat inside?
Nobody can eat inside.
Hey, guess what?
What?
Heather McKee Pregram said, Gut Renew has done more for me than anything I have tried for my digestive issues.
Wow. Wow.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
And that's what I was telling that guy on the podcast today. I said, we didn't put this up as a weight loss. It's just that we heard so many people saying they just have such gut issues that we decided, let's create a product that can help. And man, think of that spackle. It seals it up so that the good stuff stays in your gut, and life is a flow, right? Flows through you and out of you.
Well, think of what our experience was before we brought this to the public.
Yeah.
We used it for 9 months or 10 months, something like that.
Yeah.
And it was amazing how we felt, and we thought, let's share this. Let's share this.
I just had a thought that we could make tonight, before we go to bed, a blender with the Gut Renew, 2 scoops each, peanut butter, the cocoa powder, the frozen banana, and the almond milk, and whip it all up and put it in our refrigerator in our bedroom. And we wake up and we can have a banana chocolate cocoa
Yeah.
almond.
Yeah. Say it
smoothie.
backwards, right?
Oh,
Yeah.
it's so good.
You know what else you can do?
No.
You can make that chocolate banana and then freeze it.
Oh, right.
Oh.
And then you can have it as like a protein ice cream at night.
No, have you done that?
Yeah.
Oh, I'm going to do that when we go down.
You know, a shake is a shake, so you can have
Yeah.
your smoothies however you like them.
Oh, I didn't even think of that. I'm going to do that
Yeah.
tonight. I'm going to do that.
It's also great with the mango and coconut milk and banana. That's a great one to freeze. It's delicious like that. And then you just use more fruit and ice so that it gets smooth and frothy like that, and then it feels like you're having a frozen treat.
Honestly,
But you know what Suzanne loaded that product with? It's 4 kinds of plant-based protein. It has an incredible amount of immune support ingredients in it. Plus, it has the gut health nutrients. So this was a product where she just said, make it as great as you can, and don't worry about price. Let's actually make something that's actually going to help turn around the gut.
yeah.
So it is expensive, but it works, and
Yeah.
we're getting such unbelievable response from it.
You know, if we can make ourselves better and feel better, we'll spend the money, all of us as human beings. But I of all the products we've ever done, I've never seen anything take off like this Gut Renew. Never, ever, ever, ever.
Yeah.
And when I talk to my friends down here, it doesn't matter, male, female, young, old, teenager, 80-year-old, 90-year-old, everybody goes, what is it? Everybody wants it. So it's pretty incredible.
Yeah, and people are asking questions, you know, can I have my meal at lunch and have my smoothie at dinner? Absolutely.
Yeah.
You guys can switch it up and
You know
do what
what?
works for you.
You know what? That's a good
30-day
idea.
challenge it's 2 of the Gut Renew smoothies a day.
Yeah.
And then as many vegetables as you want to keep yourself satisfied. And a good clean meal. So like a nice piece of protein, like 6 to 8 ounces. Have a ton of vegetables, and then have a little bit of a good starch, like a potato or a yam, about a cup, or some squash.
Says the
But
Irish
you're
woman.
not going to have the grains,
Yeah.
and you're not having any gluten or dairy in those, and no alcohol and no sugar. So
Yeah.
that's what you give up, but
It's only for a month, and then you get all these incredible results and benefits, and then you figure out how strict you want to stay on it. But like Alan was just saying, he and I, every morning for at least 9 months, maybe a year, we've had a Gut Renew smoothie every morning. Every morning at 9 o'clock, that's what we do. And that's how I get all my supplements down, because it's thick, so the supplements go down easily. Because the supplements are so important, but they're gaggy, as you know. And I never have that gaggy thing, because I've got bulk in my GI tract. And then no small deal, it tastes great. It's not like those chalky, awful smoothies that people have been trying to get us to consume for so long. This, no kidding. If you have any comments about how it tastes, could you tell us right now so others can hear from you who have no agenda at all and you're not selling it? It tastes great.
Yeah.
Great.
Yeah. You know,
it
the
really
other...
does, and it blends really well.
Yeah.
It doesn't, you know, some protein drinks don't have great blendability, and it's vanilla. It's a vanilla flavor, so
Yeah.
it takes on whatever you add to it. So if you want to add fruit, you can make it
Yeah.
fruity and yummy. It's great with wild blueberries and coconut milk, or you can go sort of that chocolate coffee route, which is
Yep.
kind of what we love
Yep.
to do in the afternoon.
Yeah.
It's delicious.
Yeah.
Yesterday morning I made with the Gut Renew frozen peaches and coconut milk, and it was kind of thick. I made it kind of thick. Wasn't that a good one yesterday? I noticed that
Yeah.
what was left over in the blender, you topped off both of our glasses.
Yeah. Well, at first, when I drank it at first,
Yeah.
I thought, oh, it's a little, it needs a little more punch,
And
okay?
it didn't, did it?
But you know what? It didn't.
No.
That's why I knocked off. I had actually tattoo yesterday.
Yeah. And it also, it's about being able to get the supplements down easily. It's like,
Yeah.
that's an incredible thing.
Yeah. You know,
Yeah, I mean, some of you are asking questions. You can, when you do the 30-day challenge, that's what we were talking about. You have 2 smoothies a day and 1 clean meal.
Yeah.
But then you use this as maintenance just to have a smoothie every morning.
Yeah.
And it sets everything right.
Yeah.
You're getting some great nutrition.
Yeah.
You're getting 20 grams of really good quality protein. It has 0 sugars in it, very low in carbs. So it's a great way to just start your day.
Great.
By the
great,
way,
great.
David Pat said I used it with frozen dark sweet cherries, and that was really good. Okay,
Oh.
cherries. That's right up there.
This is right up.
That's
your
right
alley.
up there with
Yeah.
papaya,
Alan,
mango, watermelon,
these are
and
Alan's
sweet corn.
Things. Alan's a fruitaholic.
Oh yeah.
Much better than being married to an alcoholic.
But you're regular.
Yeah. Are you ever?
Yeah.
And
Suzanne Witzig said it does taste great, blends well. I use fruit and or frozen banana with some coffee and chocolate powder. Satisfies me so much, I switch it up every day.
And what Caroline just said about frozen banana, when you buy bananas, you know how bananas don't last more than a day or two? Eat the fresh bananas, but take the rest of them and cut them up in little slices and freeze them, because that becomes your banana and your ice cube in your smoothie. Man, does that taste good. Banana and chocolate and peanut butter and, well, banana and anything tastes good. It's a great thickener. And also you get great
Colleen Wynn
potassium.
uses
That'd be-
mango, pineapple, coconut milk with a little spinach in there. So she's doing the one that we call, I think it's called the Bright Hawaiian.
Oh, say
Or
that
the
again.
Green Hawaiian.
What is that again?
Mango, papaya, and coconut milk.
Oh, yeah.
And then you add a
Spinach.
handful of spinach, and it turns it bright green.
Interesting. And how
Wow.
great.
Really good.
I love
It's called
spinach.
the Green Hawaiian. It's in
Wow.
Suzanne's
Wow.
program guide.
Wow. How great.
The
How
group-
great. It's exciting. Health is exciting, and in today's world, any way we can find a way to live a healthy life and have it be delicious, kind of a win-win-win.
Absolutely.
Yeah, yeah. So remember the deal today. We've got clove spice, lemon verbena hand wash. We've got clove spice, lemon verbena hand lotion, and we have our moisturizing hand sanitizer. This is your party gift when you go to someone's house. Bring them one of these. Everyone's so grateful to have that, because the hand sanitizers that are out there, like my physical therapist was here today, and she was using a hand sanitizer, and I looked at it and I thought, I'm not going to say anything, but it was all chemicals. This is no chemicals and moisturizing. This is great. If you're here at the top of the show, I asked Caroline to have the warehouse send me a case of this, because this is what I want to bring to people when I want to give them a house gift or an evening gift.
Yeah, now in order to qualify as an actual hand sanitizer, you have to have a certain percentage of
Yeah, tell
alcohol
them
in
that.
the product.
Yeah.
So we do have the alcohol in the product because we have to make sure you're able to kill those germs. But Suzanne also adds moisturizing ingredients so that this feels much nicer on your hands.
Yeah, yeah. Life is good. You know, these are hard times. I know that. But you can focus on it being hard times or focus on all that's good. So let's just focus on all that's good. We're bringing you good stuff, good information. What a privilege to eat quality food, to have quality sleep, quality thoughts. These are all really important things right now. And if you have someone to hug or touch or hold, you're lucky. If you don't, come to our show 3 times a week and let us give you virtual hugs and care, because we care. And it's not as good, but it's pretty good. It's pretty good.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Well, we got to hold each other up during this time.
Yeah. So I think we're coming to the end of the evening.
So long for a while.
I've got a chicken in the oven. I can't wait to go see. I can smell it coming up from the kitchen.
And how did you season it?
I covered it with olive oil and lots of turmeric and sage, and then fresh rosemary on the top, and a little butter. And then all around it, I put cut up onions and carrots. And I can't wait to go down and see the melange that happened on the bottom of the pan. Because you know, on the bottom of the pan is where I think all the greatest stuff is. So I'm going to take the chicken out. I'm going to take all the onions and vegetables out. And then I'm going to take what's on the bottom of the pan and use my stock from last week and scoosh it down, and make this great sauce. And at the end, just drizzle in a little butter. Kind of great. And I've got mashed
I'm
potatoes.
going to remind you that Wednesday is a cooking show. So the next time you see Suzanne at 5 o'clock on Wednesday, she's going to be making something delicious for you.
Yeah, you're going to like it a lot. So good night, everybody. It was wonderful being with you. I love that you come to these shows. I love it so much. I don't even know how to explain it, but I think it's important that we all convene and we're all on the same page. And you understand the message that we're putting out, and I understand that you respond to it because you're here. So thank you. I love you, and we'll see you Wednesday.